Should my video game be turn-based or in real time? Welcome everybody! I'm Anek and I'm currently developing my first commercial video game, Forever Donut. But I have a problem. For those who don't know what I'm even talking about, in the majority of video games where there's some kind of strategy, we tend to divide it into two kinds, either turn-based or RTS, which means real-time strategy. There's a lot of debate between nerds about which one is better and which one is worse. Turns exist only because the technical limitation of all the consoles, they say. Or real-time strategy is too chaotic and doesn't require as much thinking as turns, say the others. There's even people who outright refuse to play a video game if it's not the specific rhythm that they like. But does it really matter? What are even the major differences between the two of them? I mean, at the end of the day, there's more important things on a strategy video game than just its rhythm, right? Well, yes, obviously it matters, and a lot more than you may think at first. Both are really important at setting the tone of the game. Both have their own strengths and weaknesses. And both can make the differences between a fun experience and a stressful one, or even worse, a boring experience. On top of that, inside every type of rhythm, you're able to find very different interpretations. The game may be turn-based, but are the turns infinite or limited? Do the turns themselves have time limits? Is there a maximum number of actions? How many? And why? Or on the other hand, the game is in real time, but when do the things happen? How fast is everything? Can the player have an effect on that? And can the player stop time? Wouldn't that turn the game into a much more slower and boring turn-based game again? There's 1,000 more questions to ask. This reminds me of the door problem. So, how can we tell which one is best suited for our game? Well, I think it's best if we first define what do we even mean when we say turns or real-time strategy. First, I'm going to talk about turns. This is the type of game that all roguelike deck builders tend to be, very similar to what my video game is. Popular examples are Balatro, the Civilization saga, a majority of RPGs, especially JRPGs, and almost every single tabletop game. The good thing about a turn-based game is that the player has all the time in the world to make all the decisions that it pleases, or to reflect on what it thinks will happen in the next few turns. It's also useful to have time to completely analyze what is happening on the game, and make the most informed decision about it. Inside the turn-based rhythm, we have what I like to call time-based turns. This is a smaller category that goes for mainly multiplayer online strategy games. It's very uncommon for a single-player video game to work like this, because it tends to be very unnecessary. And usually it's used just so the players don't have to wait an eternity for the opponent to make a move. The most famous game that comes to mind to me is chess, obviously, and every single player turn-based video game adapted to a multiplayer like Civilization or competitive Pokemon or any kind of tabletop game adapted for online play. After that, we have real-time strategy games. Interestingly enough, thanks to the time stop feature, it transforms time and makes it more of another resource to manage. For example, if in a strategy game I want in X time conquer this province, but it takes too long to bring my soldiers from this point of the map, the enemy will take this opportunity to train his own soldiers and it won't be as easy to conquer. You could even say that time doesn't influence the pressure of the game, because in this case, time acts more like a complex system of a lot of very short turns, where most of them you fast forward only to stop when you've collected enough resources or when a event has ended. Actually, the majority of Forex games and Tycoon games are in real time just because of that. The stopping time feature, instead of making the game more boring, it adds another dimension of complexity. So then, what did I end up choosing for my video game? Easy, right? Since my video game is so similar to a roguelike deck builder, that means that turns have to be the rhythm for my game. Wrong. After thinking about it, I've decided that the best rhythm for my game is real time. Why? Let me explain. Even if what I said before, that similar games to mine tend to use turns, is true, Forever Donut is an incremental game, which means that it doesn't really matter if the player does too many actions in a short amount of time. Also, the fact that it works on 1-minute loops makes it so the game varies depending in what moment of the minute you are in. And that's a very unique mechanic of the game that I really like. Even if there are games that have phases depending on how much you've played, I don't think there's any case in which the cycle varies much during a minute. To me, it sounds interesting, and if you find it interesting too, you can wishlist it now. Just go to the link below, check the pinned comment, or go to steam.com and search for Forever Donut to check the Steam page, and if you like it, you can wishlist it. And that's it. I hope you liked the video. And if you did, you can check out my X and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss out when the next video comes. And I'll see you soon.